Hi there, my name is Victory and welcome to the Beautiful Black Girl. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made a corset belt out of a pair of jeans, like one side of the pair of jeans. It's going to be a really easy one because the other method that I would use kind of needs some calculations, so I'll do that in another video. But today I'm going to show you guys the slightly easier version of a corset belt that you can do at home, and you can finish it in it's pretty easy, so probably in under 1 hour or 1 to 2 hours, depending on I guess how fast you sew. But yeah, that's the video for today, so if you want to see how I made the belt, keep on watching. So the first thing you're going to do is lay your pair of jeans down flat on a flat surface like a table or wherever you'll be working from, and figure out which side you'd like to cut to use as the belt. For me, I decided to cut the right side of the jeans, so you just cut all the way straight down. So like I'm showing you here, you just cut right down the middle so that you have your one side. Okay, so now that that's done, this is how this is the one side of the pair of jeans, but it's like opened up. So the next thing you're going to do is cut down the middle again, because you don't need all this fabric. You don't really need the back side. Like personally for me, I didn't want to keep the back side because I like the unfinished parts on the front side, so I'm going to cut it right down the middle so that I remain with the front side. So once that's done, you have your one side that you're going to use to make the belt. The next thing you're going to do is measure your upper waist so that you know the measurement, or rather the measurement you'll use for the belt, and then write that down in case you forget. So now we're back to the piece that we cut out, and you're just going to fold that in half like this, and then cut off this excess fabric because you don't really need that and it's just going to get in your way while you're working. So now that that's done, you're going to use the measurement that you had for your waist, divide that in half, and then measure along the fabric, and you do it on the fold. Make sure you remember to do this measurement as half of what your waist measurement was. Oh, and before I forget, it's half minus a few inches because you still need that middle space for when you close it up. If you do exactly half, it's not really going to work because then you're going to have it closing all the way, and then you won't have the middle space where the lace usually comes in. So it's half of your measurement minus a couple of inches. I don't really remember how many inches I took off, but I'm going to put that on the screen. And the additional line you're seeing me making here is because of hemming. It looks kind of big here, I don't know why, but it's not supposed to be as much. Then you're just going to cut that off, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so once you're done with that, you're going to figure out how you will be hemming. Also, just as a by the way, this step is optional. Sorry, I don't mean hemming, I mean folding in the edges so that you don't have that unfinished those unfinished pieces on the edge. But if you don't want to hem the edges, that's fine. You can just keep them in and go for an unfinished look, but for me I wanted it to be a bit clean, so I decided to do that. So what you're going to do is just is just fold in the fabric and then pin it down so that it doesn't unravel while you're trying to sew down. I have a sewing machine, so that's what I'm going to be using for this video, but you can use needle and thread, or if you don't really like sewing or you don't know how to, you can also use fabric glue. You can find that on Beshara Street. I can't really remember how much it was, but it's pretty affordable. So yeah, once I'm done pinning, I'm just going to sew down this side and then I'll show you how it looks once I'm done with that. Remember, this step is optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Personally, I prefer to do this for all my items that I sew, but if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. Just the process of cutting in itself is enough. So this is the first side done, and you can see how clean it looks, which is what I'm going for. So I'm going to do that on the opposite side as well. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to do the same thing down the longer edges. If you're doing this step, please try as much as possible to make the folds the same sizes, especially for the longer side, so that you don't have the thread that you've sewn in looking kind of strange. That's the one advantage of using a sewing machine, is that all the stitches are going to be the same. With hand stitches, it's not really that easy to make them the same, but if you can make it as close as possible to kind of the same sizes, that's great. So here, like I said, I'm doing the longer edges now, and I brought you in a bit closer so that you can see a bit better what exactly I'm doing. It's not really zoomed in that much, but it's easier for you to see how exactly I'm sewing in. So I just sew and then do a back stitch to keep it in place, and then once I'm done with that, I'll just sew all the way down for both sides. So once you're done with that, the final step will be making the holes. So this is what I'm going to be using to make the holes, and you can see at the bottom there I have a few eyelets. They come together, this tool and the eyelets come together, and they make it easier to make the hole. So you just slide it in and then punch. It's kind of like a paper punch except for fabric, but it pretty much works the same as a paper punch. So you just punch your holes in, and that's it. You have perfectly shaped holes and they're all the same size. So this is how it's going to look. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't have this, and it costs 2,000, so it might seem like a bit of a big investment for something this small. So you can just make tiny holes using a pair of scissors, and that will still be okay. So here I'm making holes again. I'm doing 4 holes here. So in the previous one you saw I didn't have 4 holes, so I went back and added so that I have the same number of holes. and you can see they come out perfectly, which is why I really like having this tool with me. Eyelets are optional as well. If you don't want to have eyelets, that's okay. You can just have the holes and then put the lace through it. So this is the final look of how it came out. I put it on a mannequin so that you can see how exactly it looks, and here I'm just showing you all the way around. The reason I use that front part is because of this spot where you can see the unfinished look. I don't know why it went dark there, sorry. The back also has that unfinished thing as well, which is what I really wanted. This second belt is an example of what I was talking about with the measurements. You can see it's slightly thicker and the middle part kind of becomes bigger as it comes in, like slightly longer in the middle. So yeah, that's basically it. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe. I post every Saturday, so you can look out for my videos on Saturdays. And yeah, so that's all for this video, and have a beautiful weekend.